So you want to listen to a pretty alright podcast about wrestling, do ya?
Well, the natural lad, Jet Swag, has said time and time again that there's only one podcast that's the most decent and the most all-rightest in the industry today.
And that's... It's the Game Rage Wrasslin Podcast. Oh, yeah. There it is. I should have probably had my microphone set up already, and I didn't because I'm an epic fail. However, this episode is not going to be an epic fail. This episode, Game Rage Wrasslin, has finally made it to double fucking digits. Episode 10. As always, I'm Josh, here today with my broadcast companion, Adam.
Howdy.
And today we're gonna try something. We're gonna do something a little different today.
Yeah.
And I think this is gonna be a good thing going forward because we're probably gonna do a lot. Well, definitely gonna do more of these. But basically, we're going to discuss and review matches, and not just the match itself, but the lead up, the preamble, the storyline, if you will, leading into said matchup.
Oh, yeah.
And so we thought, what better fucking matchup to do as the first one? Wait a minute. Did we actually, before I reveal what it's going to be, did we actually have anything else to talk about? Were we going to, did anything happen this week in wrestling that was of note?
WWE live events are happening. CM Punk's first in-ring match was at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I believe it was sold out. They're going to have an event in Inglewood. What's today?
Today's Thursday.
What?
The 28th.
Yeah, Saturday they're having a WWE live event.
Oh, at Inglewood in the Forum or whatever it's called. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
CM
cool.
Punk's supposed to be appearing.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I wonder how much tickets are going for that.
Not much.
No?
It's like $50 to sit in the nosebleeds.
Man, it still seems like a lot, but I guess for what you're getting.
Yeah, for, getting probably one of the first appearances of CM Punk in his immaculate return.
True.
Immaculate being the key word because he is a gift.
A gift to the world.
From the great one, Jericho. No, just kidding.
So
the gift of Jericho.
The gift of Jericho.
Traded
It's the
man.
gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I and then also, we have to pay for parking too, which as we've learned is something we don't
It's
like
like
to do.
50, who the fuck knows?
It's probably 100 fucking
It's probably
now.
50 to 100 bucks at this point.
Yeah, just to park your fucking car for the 3 hours that you're going to be there for the ticket that you paid. But
that.
I digress. Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, whatever. Not a lot, I guess, has really been happening. I mean, it is the holiday season. So, I imagine that they weren't pushing
that's
shit
right.
too hard because,
Yeah, Monday Night Raw was just a recap of the year.
yeah. So nothing really there.
I don't know if we talked about R-Truth. I hope we did, but an update on the R-Truth segment, I guess you could say, is that he got jumped by the Judgment Day, and he convinced himself that getting his ass beat was his his initiation,
Yeah.
which I thought was fucking great.
That instead of just getting regular jumped, he was getting jumped into the gang. That's what he took it as.
Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping that actually leads to him becoming part of the Judgment Day in 2024. I mean, dude, anytime you can get more R-Truth on, of all the things, out of all the fucking returns in the WWE, Randy
yeah.
Orton, CM Punk, R-Truth, probably amongst my favorite, if not my favorite personally, is R-Truth coming out, being a shill for fucking Ruffles and
Oh yeah.
Lay's products. His multi-dimensional powers at this point.
Yep.
Being part of the audience and also within the WWE universe as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And just I don't know, man. The way they've been using him, he's been earning his check.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I fully believe and support the theory that he is the new Undertaker. He is the new immortal, like undead fucking creature of the WWE. And I support it, quite frankly, because that's just an awesome character or whatever you want to call it to be.
I don't know if he's basically blurring the line between kayfabe and reality. I don't know what's going on anymore.
No, I don't know what's real and what's not. So I'm just gonna assume it's all real, and kayfabe is a lie. It's all real.
Yeah. Shit, I'm trying to think of anything that happened to AEW. I don't know if this is actually the case, but they've been teasing. Oh man, Roderick Strong. One of my favorite fucking moments of the year is Roderick Strong starts going fucking Charlie Day. Oh, It's Always Sunny with the corked board and like connecting the dots because you're trying to find out who the devil is.
Yeah.
So he has this corked board with strings and everything. It's like, oh, the devil's MJF. All roads lead to fucking MJF as the devil. Fucking amazing. And then it was revealed. See, I don't know if this is Samoa Joe being the messenger because they didn't technically reveal who the devil was. But yeah, I guess Joe was alluding possibly to the fact that he might be the devil.
Yeah.
In a Ra's al Ghul type of situation where it's like a misdirect that he's. But again, it's gonna have to be at this pay-per-view that we ultimately find out who's.
Yeah, when is that? Is that in January at the or is it?
I don't remember. I forget. I don't even remember what the paper is. It's at World's End, right?
Yeah, that's what it's called now. Which I think. Well, because before, man, I think they changed the names on some of the shit because before the one at the beginning of the year, I think was called Revolution. That's what it was. It was like AEW Revolution or something like that. And
for New Year's.
Yeah. And then now it's this one at World's End, which sounds like
World's End, yeah.
Yeah, a Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious if R-Truth comes out on the AEW pay-per-view dressed as fucking Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
And interdimensionally fucking morphs. But yeah, so that's an interesting storyline that's going on over there in AEW.
It'll be great.
At least, what?
Is if R-Truth paid for a ticket to go to AEW and they got him on screen.
That'd be they'd have to.
For a shared universe of AEW. It'll be like the slightest acknowledgement that WWE is tied to.
Yeah. And then they could just show him and he could just do his funny little R-Truth wave and then it'd just be like WWE superstar R-Truth.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. I need that in my life.
I saw this meme the other day. It was an R-Truth because now I think we should also do R-Truth meme of the week. I think we should also
R-Truth meme of the week. All right.
Because there's so many potential candidates. And that's not a word, but ironically enough, I saw it on Alexa Bliss's fucking Instagram page somehow popped up in my shit, and it was this video of her and I think it was Nikki Cross when they were like the women's tag team champions, and they're doing this promo and the fucking boom mic starts like slowly coming into the screen and it like hits her in the head and then it goes back up and then she's like the fuck, like, and then she goes back to kind of do the thing and then it slowly comes back in the screen and it whacks her in the head again and she's like, what's going on here? And then they zoom out and it's R-Truth as the cameraman or as the boom mic guy, and he's holding the mic and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Bliss." And it was when he was the 24/7 champion, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just here trying to blend in, so nobody finds me." And then she literally looks at him, and then she looks at the camera, and she grabs the mic and she says, "Hey, everybody, R-Truth is here in the back if you want to get this 24/7 title." And then she just drops it, and then she walks off, and then R-Truth is just standing there, and he's like, "Oh, nah." And then everybody just comes out and starts chasing after him. It was fucking hilarious. I said, awesome. Man, that's a good one. But yeah, that's my R-Truth meme of the week.
Nice.
Fucking right there.
All right.
But anyways, so all right. So any other important events taking place right now? Like we said, it's the end of the year. This is usually the 2 weeks when fucking everybody's kind of just not doing a lot. I mean, shit's not really happening because most people are off, or most they're doing the recap for the year so that the wrestlers can have their fucking time with their families. It's like the one time of the year. They're wrestlers.
Wrestlers.
What do they call them in AEW? Wrestlers. What do they call them in WWE?
Superstars.
But they're still, well, no. Sports entertainers.
Sports entertainers, yeah.
But I guess that's what a superstar is. Well, so wait a minute. Now that we're on this subject, is there a hierarchy of wrestler and is like the bottom tier, and then the middle tier is sports entertainer, and then the top tier superstar. Like that's a high. Like you made it. You're a superstar.
I think there's a what would be the word? Is it stigma?
Yeah, probably
Stigma behind the word wrestler because it seems, or rather, comes across as carny-ish.
Yeah, that's true, but wrestling is carny shit, man. It's all carny shit.
It's traveling circus. Real
it's
shit.
what it is.
Sports entertainer is a little bit more classy. Superstar feels like it's kind of trying to emulate sports.
Yeah.
Sports in general.
But then being bigger than sports.
NBA superstars, right?
Yeah.
NBA or MLB All-Stars. Like it has that decor to it.
Right, yeah.
So when I think of wrestler, it seems like the lowest grade term for a wrestler because it just props to Vince McMahon for brainwashing people to convince them that superstar is the way to go.
It's the way to go, yeah.
Because I mean, how else are you gonna fucking call these people anything else but wrestlers?
Well, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They are literally professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
That's their job title.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. When you go into the fucking NXT or you go through what is it called at the NXT, the system? What isn't there like a name for it?
You mean farm system?
Yeah. What don't they have like a name for it?
Development center.
Yeah, development. There you go. Yeah,
the development.
When you
center.
get into like the development center, I mean, your job title just is probably what? Well, independent contractor if you're with the WWE, but
yeah,
I mean, normal places it's probably just wrestler or pro wrestler. I don't know, fucking whatever. Maybe your job title is your gimmick.
Also, it's also I don't know if this is also part of the semantics of it or splitting hairs, but wrestler I think is so it almost plants the idea that it's just about the physicality of it as opposed to the mic skills, which is where I think sports entertainment sports entertainer is maybe a little bit higher, and then superstar obviously is
that's you're going over the top.
That's tier.
You're doing the wrestling thing and you're taking it to 11 with superstar.
Yeah,
but I do think that sports entertainer probably is the most accurate description because yes, obviously everything that you're doing is very physical, but there's more to it than that. You're also telling a story. You're also an actor. I mean, you're an entertainer. You are entertaining people.
Oh, on this note, since we are going to are we going to announce what we're actually going to do, the segment?
Yeah, when we get to it.
All right. So one thing I'd like to do is, I've seen people talk about feuds and such and going over matches and stuff.
Right.
But I think we should go over promos because that's the aspect of wrestling that I also really appreciate is being a great orator to take a scribe. I don't know. I mean, most of it at this point is probably scripted, not all of it. But I mean, still, even taking words that are written on paper and
bringing them to life.
Is still that's an art form. Some people can't be taught that. I mean, you could probably spend years trying to learn mic skills, but some people just fucking have it, and some people don't. And I think we should maybe look at both cases where horrible fucking examples, which probably is going to be evident in this segment that we're going to do because I got some shit to say about this particular segment about some of the things that were said for promos. I'm not. I don't know. I couldn't buy into it. But anyways, if you want to go ahead and hype us up for
So, as I said earlier, we're gonna be doing this on a regular basis, I think, and every episode will probably have a different. Well, no, it's not probably. It'll definitely have a different match or a different feud, and then we're gonna obviously examine because I think that's something that not a lot of other people do. They'll just sit there and watch a match and talk about it, right? Yeah, we're going to do that. But we're also going to go through the lead up to it and discuss basically kind of how it starts and how it got to the point of where it was, and then the promos and everything in between, the matchups that they have in between then. And also, like you had said, I think we're going to have a separate segment that's just maybe focusing on promos that aren't related to the match that we're talking about. It's like it'll be another separate segment, I guess. So for for tonight's match that we're going to be watching, we'll do the match itself. We will do a lot not a live because you guys aren't listening to this live, but we're going to watch the whole entirety of the match on the episode. We're not going to have the sound on, obviously, because of copyright reasons, but we will be watching it and commentating on it and talking about shit and discussing things, right? And previous to that, though, we will be going over all the, the preamble, the lead up to it, the storyline, storytelling, all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
So tonight, our first one that we decided to do, I think, was probably the best choice we could have made for the first fucking one out the gate. And to me, this was a feud. This was a matchup that I saw live. I saw it as it was happening. This was in 2002. It was peak WWF because it was post WCW, just right post after it. And it really kind of not only scratched an itch that we never thought we would get to see, but it gave us kind of a closure to the whole kind of shitty way they did the invasion angle and all that stuff, that whole WCW versus WWF versus ECW, whatever the fuck it was. Post, Vince buying WCW. And so the match we're talking about, WrestleMania 18, Hollywood Hulk Hogan and the great one, The Rock. So to start us off, I guess let's go back to the beginning, right? This was around January-ish in 2002. The basic reason why the NWO gets brought back was because finally the fat contracts that Turner had written, guaranteed to the three of them, being Hogan, Nash, and Hall, were finally expiring, which was the reason why we never got a lot of guys from WCW that were the big time guys in the WWF right after the buyout happened, because they were getting paid to sit at home. They didn't have to come and work for the WWF. As a matter of fact, if they went to work for the WWF, their contract with WCW was null and void, and Turner was off the hook and didn't have to pay it. So a lot of guys didn't want to leave their guaranteed money on the table because they knew the WWF wasn't going to be paying them this much fucking money.
Who would?
Yeah, exactly. So they said, fuck it, we're going to keep it. So anyway, so their contracts are finally coming up. In storyline, as I said, this is post-invasion angle. So you had Ric Flair be revealed to be the guy who bought all of the WWF shares that Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon sold to buy because that was the whole storyline, was that Shane McMahon swooped in and bought WCW before Vince did. That was the whole storyline. He came in and he bought it right beforehand. So while Vince is thinking he's buying this whole thing, really Shane McMahon was the one who bought it. And him and Stephanie sold all their WWF shares to finance this deal. That's kind of the storyline of how it went. So after that angle is done and they're defeated and the WWF is the last man standing, one fucking Monday Night Raw, you hear, woo, the classic Ric Flair music. He comes out and he says he's so excited to be there. And again, this is just context for the audience if they haven't seen this, because I feel like we're gonna have a lot of Zoomers that probably have not seen this fucking match, and you got to understand this shit to get behind it. So Flair comes out. He basically says, "Hey man, there was this consortium that bought Shane and Stephanie's shares when they sold them to buy WCW, and hey, that consortium was me. So now I'm 50-50. We're partners, Vince, and that's the new crisis." And so they're leading up to Vince and Flair having a problem. And so Vince basically is starting to lose control to Flair. So he does probably, to be honest with you, one of the coolest fucking promos I've seen Vince McMahon do. And this is when he is sitting all night throughout this Raw. He is sitting in this fucking chair. And it's like an office chair. And he's just sitting there. It's got a high back. And he's just sitting there. He's like staring at the camera. And he just keeps going on and saying all this weird, crazy shit. And he's just saying about how, oh, they don't think I have the balls. They don't think I can do it. They don't think I'm going to do it. No, I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do it. He's doing one of those. The whole night, it just keeps cutting back and forth. So finally, at the end, the tail end, which this is one of the things that I kind of miss about older WWF, was they weren't afraid to end the show on a promo. Nowadays, I feel like we don't get that. I feel like we get some kind of, there's a match or there's something going on generally. But anyways, so Vince basically says he's going to inject poison into the WWF because if anyone's going to kill his creation, it's going to be him. And then he says, it's going to be me. And then he turns around and the whole time he was sitting and staring at you through a mirror. It's a mind fuck when you watch it. And he turns around and then you see him face the camera. And on the back of the mirror, it just says on the back of the chair, they just wrote NWO. And he goes, it's me and the NW. Like he says it just like that. And it's fucking so good. And the next pay-per-view, February, is conveniently called No Way Out. Being acronym NWO. So the set back to the thing we talk about set pieces, man. That set was fucking cool as shit. Yeah. They had these 2 semi trucks with the fucking things, which that was what the NWO is known for doing, launching people into semi trucks and shit. So that was kind of cool to fucking see that. And then they had the logo was a stop sign, and then the words were in black, except for
I was gonna say I think it's a
yield sign. You're right. Yeah, sorry, it was a yield sign, and then the words were in black except for the NW and O, which were in white, and it was so cool. So Hogan is introduced. He comes out. Everybody's losing their shit because they're like, wow, we never thought we'd ever see Hulk Hogan in the WWF again. And we also never thought we would see the fucking NWO come to the WWF. And yet we're seeing it. And they're basically having a jolly good time in this promo that I think they opened the show with. I think they opened the pay-per-view with them coming out. And they're just talking about how they're just so excited to be here, and they're just like kissing the audience's ass. It's very patronizing, but they're just saying they're so grateful for this opportunity, and we're not here to kill the WWF. We want to make it better with better matches and better, feuds and rivalries, and that's what we're here to do, right, guys? And they're like, yeah, what's we're here to do, buddy? And so that's when you have the first interaction after this promo, in-ring promo. You have their first backstage promo, and they're just kind of sitting there talking shit and saying stuff. And who does but appear on the screen? The Rock. He shows up, and he starts, interacting with the NWO, right? So Hogan asks him basically, oh, hey, you think I can get a picture for my kid? And then he goes, oh, man, my kid loves you, whatever. And then he says, and then I forget what Hogan says, but he makes a backhanded comment about The Rock. And then The Rock's just like, whoa, hold on now. And then he fucking holds him, and then he says, oh, you come in here. And he's like, you can take that camera. He's like, Razor, because I think Razor Ramon was, or not Razor Ramon, Scott Hall was holding the thing. And he's like, oh, Razor Ramon, you can take that camera. You Chico Razor Ramon. He starts doing the fucking little thing, he's mocking him, and then he goes, you give it to that one, you give it to the big one, Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Oh man, it's so good. And then he says, and then you give it to him, Hogan, the Immortal. He starts saying all this shit, and then he says, he's like Razor Ramon shined it up, Big Daddy Diesel turns sideways, Hogan, you can just stick that straight up your candy ass. And it was just fucking, the audience blows up. It's fucking great. I thought it was an excellent first encounter. And then The Rock, he leaves. He doesn't even fucking stick around for any kind of anything. He just leaves. And they're just, the three of them are just standing there like, oh man, we just got fucking told, oh, this is going to be a problem. And so that is the true beginning of this feud. And what's funny to me is they pulled this off in less than 60 days. This whole feud was start to finish. It was in February, and then obviously I think that year WrestleMania was in April. So you're looking at, it was probably less than 60 days that they did this whole feud. It was probably like more like 45 that this whole feud came to be. And
I don't think it needed a whole lot to begin with.
yeah, I don't think it did either.
I think Hogan and Rock was enough
Draw just in and of itself. And so from there, we get to the next Monday night on Raw. Hogan's out there cutting a promo. Rock shows up. This interaction, this was their first in-ring interaction. And I thought for their first in-ring interaction that this went pretty much perfectly. This was kind of the best way to introduce and get the hype going for this thing, because The Rock comes out, starts talking shit. Hogan's basically saying no one's going to challenge him. No one's going to beat him. He's Hulk Hogan. You can't fuck with me. And he's right. You know, he is Hulk Hogan. You can't fuck with him. So The Rock comes out. Obviously, he has some shit to say about it. So he starts talking shit. They kind of go back and forth. And we get to the end where basically The Rock is challenging Hogan to a match. And he says, you know, but you know what? I don't think it's up for us to decide. And he says, we should let the people decide. So then he's like, would you people like to see The Rock or would like to see Hulk Hogan go one-on-one with the great one at WrestleMania? And then everybody loses their shit. And he's like, oh, God, sorry. Go.
Oh, no. Yeah. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loses their shit. I thought you raised your hand to say something.
Oh, I do actually have something to say, but I'll let you.
Yeah. So he goes on to say that. Hogan's looking around. He finally says, you know what? Yeah, yes. And then it was kind of awkward the way he said yes, though. But then they shake hands. And then he says, hey, Rock, good luck. You're going to need it. And then he starts walking away. And then The Rock still holds onto his hand. And he fucking pulls him in a little bit closer. And the pulling in of the closeness was a little awkward when he first pulled him in. It was Hogan almost tripped, I think. And it was just kind of stumbly. But it's The Rock and Hogan, so obviously they recover from that. And then The Rock just gets him closer and he says, not as much as you. And then he pulls him even closer. Brother, fucking straight up throws his arm over, rock bottoms him fucking straight to hell. And thus now the feud has officially kicked off. Anyways, you were going to say.
All right, so what was interesting about this interaction, I think both of them know how to play to a crowd, because when they're teasing the match,
right,
they both respectively pause and look to the crowd,
right,
on multiple occasions. I think
Yes.
it's like 3 separate occasions.
Yeah.
They look, to both sides, and I think that's, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a credit to both of them that they know to let those moments breathe and just like let the crowd get into it. And also, I thought it was a interesting twist to have The Rock, because you would say he's probably facing this feud, right? Because Hogan is
the heel,
right? So it was a bit of a surprise that they started it with him rock bottoming at the end of the segment, to have Hogan get rock bottom at the end. That was kind of, I don't know if it was a strange choice, but it was an interesting choice nonetheless, coming from a face.
Right. Well, I also think that they were still very hot and heavy off of basically The Rock being kind of an anti-hero, kind of like Stone Cold was. So I think that the rules are a little bit different with how you can get what you can get away with.
Yeah.
In terms of what the audience will go for. That's, yes, by all means, that is kind of a shady, underhanded maneuver, right? So then that kind of would imply, oh, he's the bad guy. But because it's The Rock and he's kind of, an anti-hero, he's taking on the bad guys, but he's using bad guy tactics to take on the bad guys. So then it's acceptable, I guess.
Yeah. And I believe in this same Monday Night Raw, NWO kicked The Rock's ass with... I think they beat his ass with the hammer, hit him in the back of the head.
I think it was a ball peen. Was it a ball peen hammer? Was it actually what it was? Yeah.
And then that ends up putting The Rock in an ambulance.
Yeah.
And then that leads us to the segment with the NWO, the backstage segment, and we have Hogan fucking procuring a fucking semi truck in such rapid succession.
How convenient.
Yeah.
That there was an easily stealable semi truck just waiting with the keys in it.
Yeah.
black too, by the way.
Yes,
Conveniently.
Yeah. So go ahead.
So Hogan, he rolls up with this fucking this they cut off the ambulance and he rolls up with the semi truck. He's like, "Hey guys, look, I got me a semi truck." And then Hall and Nash are just, "Oh man, yeah." And they're like, "That's so cool, man." And he's like, "Hey, I think I should ram this ambulance." And so then they're like, "Yeah, do it." And so they're cheering him on. And man, it clearly wasn't Hogan driving the fucking semi truck because after he does the promo where he's sitting in the driver's seat, he starts doing this thing where he's gonna shift it into gear, and I think he fucked it up. And it doesn't go. And so, because with semi trucks, there's like a specific way you have to do it.
Yeah, I think you have like 2 pedals for
right. Yeah, for the clutch. It's like it's really weird. Yeah. So obviously he probably wasn't used to doing that. So I think he fucked it up. So then he rolls the window up because the windows are tinted. And then there must have been a dude in there that knows how to drive the semi truck that was in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
So then it's like maybe like 30 seconds goes by, and then finally it starts moving, and you're like, oh, okay, the guy that's really driving got in there. So then fucking just rams this ambulance, rams it, throws it in reverse, backs up, rams it again, and does this for a succession of like 2 more times. Then Hogan rolls the window back down, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, guys, yeah." And then they get out and they're like high-fiving, and Kevin Nash and goes up to the ambulance. And I think he's the first one that looks in. He puts his hands above his head and he looks in, like, when you're looking into a car window. He looks in there and then he just looks back at them with this look of absolute utter terror and disbelief. And he's just like, you guys gotta go. You guys, look what we did. Look what we did. And so then Hall and Hogan go up to the thing and they both look in there. And then they all 3 look at each other with this horrified look on their face. And they're looking around and Hogan literally just says, "Guys, we got to get out of here." And then they fucking just run to this awaiting Lincoln Town car, also black, and they get in and they just peel the fuck out and they're gone. They're out. And that segment was funny. And additionally, one of the things that I also really enjoyed about the segment was that they kept the announcer mics on. So the whole time, Jim Ross is saying, "No, you don't do it, you son of a bitch. Oh, you're going to burn in hell for doing this, you son of a bitch. That's an innocent man. He's defenseless in this ambulance." And then Jerry Lawler going, "Ha, well, that's what he gets. He shouldn't have I don't know why I'm doing Mickey Mouse for Jerry Lawler, but he's like, "Oh, well, that's what he gets. He shouldn't have been fucking with the NWO. That's you get what you pay for." He's just making jokes and cracking jokes about it. And then, that was going on the whole time. And then JR's yelling, "Get some help back there immediately. Good God Almighty, he may be broken in half."
Yeah. So I love the absurdity of wrestling sometimes. Yeah. That this is a place where domestic violence is encouraged, workplace violence is encouraged.
Workplace violence.
You can commit murder if you want to.
Yeah.
In this particular case, it was probably vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah.
With the semi truck and.
Oh yeah.
And I was just completely astonished at, why not? Fucking let's the natural escalation from the rock bottoming
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan is all right. I guess I can understand getting hit in the back of the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, you know what? You get what you deserve. You fucked with Hogan, now you're gonna get hit in the back of the head with a hammer.
Yeah, and then it goes a leapfrog, a quantum leap. And you know what? Let's murder this guy.
Kill this son of a bitch, Let's not only fucking end his career, let's end his life.
Yeah. And so, this is the first, technically,
it's
like the first.
It's like the first physical altercation, I guess, really, is what you kind of say it as.
So pretty much after this, I mean, if I had to make my own assessment, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah. These were the high spots for this
started off hot.
It did. It started off hot. And then we move into
SmackDown.
Well, SmackDown's next. Okay. Well, this part was also funny when basically they're saying and the announcers are saying that essentially the DA is not going to press charges as long as the NWO comes out and reads an apology letter. So They almost kill a dude by ramming his ambulance with a semi-truck. They also destroyed government property, which was the ambulance fucking itself because it belonged to that county or whatever they were in.
Yeah.
And they destroyed some guy's semi-truck too. So they've committed a litany of felonies here.
Yeah.
And the local district attorney, his answer is, you know what? As long as they go out on television and read an apology and really sound like they mean it,
Yeah.
we won't file any charges.
Yeah.
Which again leads back to what you were saying about the absurdity of wrestling and how this is why I love fucking wrestling. Because it's so absurd and great. It's so good. So they come out and man, they're like basically
This is SmackDown, by the way.
yeah, this is on SmackDown.
This is transitioning into SmackDown.
Right. And so they come out and they're walking out and they're just fucking, they look just so somber. And I mean, fuck, they should have been wearing ties and shit. Like that would have been awesome. So they come out and they're just slowly they just look very fucking apologetic. And so Kevin Nash is reading a prepared fucking statement, basically saying about how we regret the decisions that we made. And, we're just, gosh, gee golly, we're just so sorry. And, this will never happen again. And, we will make sure that in the future, these things are held in a different, manner. So they do this hilarious apology. And then that kind of leads into next, I think is next, if my memory serves correct, is the cardboard cutout incident, right?
No,
Isn't that
there's
next?
one
more
piece
thing?
before that.
What's that? What
so
is that?
Stone Cold comes out.
Oh yeah. Okay,
and
go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, so Stone Cold comes out and basically has beef with Scott Hall because he interrupted his match for the undisputed title. Because now the NWO have their hands in a lot of pies as far as the WWE. Well, I guess technically these two things, but
Yeah.
so then he comes out with the tire iron and starts whipping their asses, and that's more or less what happens on SmackDown. Then this leads to the next week, which is Raw, with Hogan cutting a promo against a cardboard Rock, and presumably the Rock is still injured from getting fucking hit by an
getting hit by a literal semi-truck.
Yeah, so in kayfabe, he's still injured.
He's in the hospital, as they say.
So yeah, the apology happens and all that stuff. So that if you want to,
okay. So then with the cardboard cutout, this is the cardboard cutout incident. So Hogan's backstage. This is a backstage promo.
They put a towel on the motherfucker. Like, I don't know why they put a towel on the cardboard. Like, it's supposed to sell us on that this is
The Rock.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know why they went the extra mile to put a towel.
I do have to say, I do appreciate that they did that. And when I was watching this live back when it was happening in fucking 2002, when I was like, I don't know, 15, somewhere around there, I thought it was great. I thought this was the best shit I had ever seen. This was groundbreaking material here, and it was just so good. Now, watching it back 20 fucking 1 years later, and then being a grown ass man now, this was really garbage. The way Hogan is addressing a cardboard cutout of The Rock, it's like he's being condescending, but it's to the cardboard. So who cares? And I told you this earlier, and I think it still applies, but Hogan was basically channeling the villain energy that he was using in fucking Three Ninjas High Noon at fucking Mega Mountain or whatever the Three Ninjas movie that Hogan was in. I think that's what it was called. That he was the main bad guy. And he was literally doing these like 80s or like late 80s, early 90s campy villain fucking, chuckling to himself and fucking, talking to this cardboard cutout like it's a teenager that he's about to fight at an amusement park. And it was not good. From the execution, and again, I don't know if that's maybe what they were going for. Maybe they were going for this. Who the fuck knows? But the execution by Hogan was not good, and the lines were not good either. The lines were pretty bad, and it was basically just cancer all the way around.
I mean, there was hints or pieces that were decent, and it was just simply, and this probably could have been the angle that they ran with the entire time. Like, this could have been the lines he would have repeated consistently throughout every promo leading up to the match.
Yeah.
Was that The Rock, like, I don't know if it was this promo specifically, but it was something akin to this, where he was saying that everybody that has faced Hulkamania has fallen. And he I think he led with Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
And then he talked about the Ultimate Warrior,
Macho Man.
Like, everybody has fallen to him, which was great because then it just sets the precedent that he's unbeatable.
Yeah.
And that
The Rock is next.
The Rock is not going to, he's never going to reach the status of Hulkamania.
Right.
And I thought if they ran with that, if that was worded differently for the future promos, it would have been all right. But basically, this promo was unsalvageable.
Yeah. I think from the get-go.
And then to seal off probably how bad this promo was he rips his shirt off and he breaks the last lines he says, he looks at the camera and rips his shirt, and it was just so campy and stupid that I was not a fan of it at all.
Yeah, and honestly, I had fucking forgotten that this even happened, to be honest with you. When I watched the video of all the shit leading up to it, I just said, God damn, I don't remember this at all. And maybe I blocked it from my fucking memory because it was so bad even back then, I thought. But man, back then I'm sure I was just eating all this shit up, just saying, oh man, this is the greatest shit ever. And really, it probably this at least this section was not good.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we have the cardboard cutout incident. Then where do we go from there?
Okay, so then I think there was just kind of a brief segment with on SmackDown. Steve Austin and Scott Hall beef after Hall attacks Austin's knee. Hogan states that Austin is in no position to be a threat. And so they're cutting a promo on the ramp and telling Austin that he's in no position to fight. Not only because he fucked up his knee, but also it's 3 against 1. So he's like, I don't need to be here. So then I think this leads to another SmackDown. So I don't think there was a Raw in between this SmackDown and the one that we're going to currently talk about. Hulk Hogan. So this is a backstage segment where Hulk Hogan talks about being excited for his match against The Rock. And this, to me, was kind of the tell on, and maybe this is just hindsight or looking back retrospectively, because eventually in the match in WrestleMania 18, there's a moment where Hulk Hogan starts kind of winning over the crowd and he transitioned over to being more of a face character or whatever. But there was something about Hulk Hogan being jubilant about wrestling against The Rock. Like he's facing an opponent that is worthy of his name, his stature. And I don't know, I felt like that was kind of a signifier that maybe there was a potential, because even Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are looking at him like,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, like why
are you being such a puss? Like,
so let's see. Do you want me to kind of list off some things, or
just get us to the match. Get us to the lead up, the rest of the lead up to the match.
Okay, so they have a lottery. I don't know why they have this, is so fucking random, but Scott Hall has this in a backstage segment with Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan, and they're trying to find out who's going to be his match, and it turns out to be The Rock. So The Rock returns. Let's see. Rock was. So then The Rock returns. He cuts a promo, and he said he was initially excited for The Rock to be, or rather, Hulk Hogan to be back, but then he was idolizing who Hulk Hogan was in the past versus what he actually is now.
Right. Yeah.
And he let his guard down, and that's why he got his ass whooped, because he's no longer the Hulkamania. He's Hollywood Hogan.
Right, yeah.
And let's see. Fuck. So this is Hulk Hogan and NW arrived.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to finish the feud on SmackDown. Rock says, okay, so this is a fucking... In the exchange between NWO and The Rock, he says, who knew someone with 24-inch pythons had half-inch testicles? Which I thought...
Yeah, that's such a great fucking line, man. That's such a great line.
And then Scott Hall opens. Scott Hall's opponent is The Rock. Hall versus Rock.
Yeah.
So then, this leads into the SmackDown with what eventually becomes not a triple threat match, a handicap match between Stone Cold and The Rock versus the NWO and shit. I'm trying not to like look at my notes here, but so then eventually that turns into a match between The Rock and Stone Cold versus the NWO, and this is kind of a cool segment because it kind of teases the match, and it doesn't give you everything you want. Obviously, they're saving the best stuff for
the WrestleMania,
for the main for the main course,
Yeah.
which will be WrestleMania 18, and shit. I don't know if there's anything else to add besides. Let's see. So there's a Raw that happens afterward. Hulk and NWO have a backstage segment. Hulk excited for his match against The Rock. And Scott Hall, finally finds out that he's going to be facing Steve Austin against... they're going to make the match happen. Let's see. Okay, so I did make a mistake. So to wrap this all up, Hogan does promo before WrestleMania 18. And this is the part where he mentions that everybody that has faced Hulk Hogan has fallen. That's, Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior,
right? Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage, and then that's more or less it.
So then that's like the go home right before that's like the go home Raw right before WrestleMania when he cuts his promo basically, right?
Or this is SmackDown. So this is
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
So it's
SmackDown
literally
before
the Friday before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And so he cuts this promo, and that's the go home show right before the fucking WrestleMania itself to garner as much hype as you possibly can. And I thought that promo was good. I liked it. I thought it really hit the nail on the head.
One of my favorite. Okay, so this doesn't have to do anything with either Rock or Hogan particularly, but there was something that's kind of nice is looking back and seeing what audience signs were.
Oh yeah.
And one of the best ones that I happened to catch off the corner of my eye was the sign that says "Egomania is running wild."
Oh man,
I don't know why I like that one so
That's
much,
funny.
but it's still it was one that stood out to me. But so then we kind of that leads us to WrestleMania itself with the match. So how are we gonna do this?
All right. So what I was thinking is do
we need to pay attention to like anything because is there anything memorable they actually say to one another, like verbalize in the match?
Well, what I was thinking is I don't know if they do or not, but what I was thinking, it would still be nice to hear the commentary. Like we can hear the commentary, right? Because theoretically, whoever's going to be watching this watch along, I guess, with us, they're going to mute it. So then we're the commentary. So it would be nice to be able to just hear what they're saying. We can say, oh yeah, this is when JR said this fucking hilarious line or whatever.
Okay.
And so what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to give a timestamp of where we're at. So right now you can queue up your old Peacock network.
The cock.
You can queue up your cock and you can go to the WrestleMania page and go to season 18, episode 1, which is WrestleMania 18, and go to 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 46 fucking seconds. And that's if you go to that spot, you'll see Molly Holly dead on the floor and a referee. All right. But it's fading out. So literally the next thing is going to be the beginning of this Hogan and Rock deal that's going to come up. So let me go. I gotta go. I'm gonna have to pause it for a second, but no one's there. You people aren't gonna notice this, but I gotta get another headphone set for Adam, and then I gotta get the little thing so we can fucking both hear it.
Okay.
If you want to do that. So all right. So hang on. Let me do that. So you people will not know this. You'll notice no difference, but I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're back.
Can I dial back mine?
Yeah. What? Oh shit, that is loud. All right. Wait. This one's yours.
Testing. Go back up. Testing. More. Testing. All right. That's good.
That seems good enough. All right. I'll just put mine at the same fucking level. Okay. So now we're going to be able to hear it, but they're not going to hear it on the recording. So here we go. So cue up your fucking cock to 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 46 fucking seconds. And we're going to go play. I'll get, well, you can pause it once I say that. It's 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 46 seconds. You can pause it now if you need to cue it up. Okay. So for those of you who are ready and good to go, we're going to do a countdown to hitting play. So we're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. All right. So there we go. So Jesus, that's loud. All right. So now here is the promo.
I got to say, I miss the motion graphics when they.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a 15. It's not even 15 seconds, but it's like 3 seconds where they're actually moving.
Yeah,
and then it turns into a freeze frame. Like they don't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, I know, man. That was fucking cool as shit. So now here we go. We're seeing Hogan. He's doing the promo that we talked about. I also missed the. I mean, I don't know. They still do this well. The video packages leading into it, they still fucking do it great. But yeah.
Okay, so the video packages for this kind of sell how big the moment is because, okay, so Hogan's been away for I don't know how many years at this point, but them bringing back the old catalog or library of videos going back to like WrestleMania, what was it, 9?
Well, yeah, that was the last one, but I mean, they showed WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania. I mean, Hulk Hogan was part of WrestleMania 1.
Yeah, so it's just like the entire legacy of WrestleMania.
Right,
well,
yeah.
just Hulk Hogan being part of the WWF, and then, it just kind of sells you on the moment because if you weren't kind of sold on this match already, these video packages probably did the job for you. I think.
Yeah.
If you hadn't even watched Raw or SmackDown leading into this match, if you watch this, you're like, oh fuck yeah, I'm psyched for this.
Yeah, definitely. And what's funny is that's one of the things now watching wrestling where when we would watch pay-per-views and stuff and we wouldn't really watch Raws and SmackDowns, they do such a good job of recapping the feud that you don't even really almost need to watch it. You could just watch this shit at the beginning of the match.
I used to stay up at like 2 a.m. to watch Afterburn because they used to show it on UPN to catch up on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I'd get everything in like 30 minutes, like that was important, which is probably good because watching 2 hours of 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess 5 hours of fucking wrestling.
Yeah, back then,
4 or 5 hours of wrestling.
Well, really, it was 2 hours and 2 hours because it was 4 because
4 hours,
Raw
right.
and SmackDown was
Okay.
2 hours each. But yeah, fucking. Oh, there we go. There was the rock bottom just now. But so yeah, one of the shows I used to watch back in the mid to late 90s was a show called Livewire, and it was WWF shows. WWF, it was on Saturday mornings, and it would literally just be a recap show for what happened in the week. So they would do Monday Night Raw. Well, they only had Raw. They didn't have SmackDown yet back then when this show was on, but it would just be a recap of Raw, and then they had a Sunday show that was WWF Superstars, and so they would recap that, and then they would hype the upcoming show, which was later that night when they started doing WWF Saturday Night Shotgun, which I wish they would fucking bring some shit like that back, or at least put those episodes on the fucking cock, because man, those were some fucking great things. They would be in malls. They'd be like all these weird places. There'd be like elevator matches and shit, or like escalator matches. But anyways, that's what that show would do. It would hype up this fucking show that was going to happen that night, and then they would hype up the next episode of Superstars, which is on Sunday. And then if there was something going to happen on Raw, and it was also like a call-in show too, so people would call in, and you could, fucking, I mean, I don't know if it was actually ever real to me. It probably wasn't. It was probably just they had their own guys doing it. But oh yeah, here we go. All right, so now they're doing the NWO entrance, man. I just fucking love that, with the way that it goes in and out at the beginning to the film grain, and then it fucking just then the screen deteriorates, and then it goes black and white,
and it turns like it goes from, I imagine, 24 frames to 12
oh
frames.
Yeah, it's like a 12, it's like maybe an 8. It's fucking low right now. But that's what gives it this aesthetic and what makes it look so good.
All right, so him, because he's wearing that fluff shit, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the boas.
Do you think that was also possible? Because had he done that before when it came to matches in WCW, where he would wear that, or was he just strictly, his NWO shirt and that was it?
No, I think he had done that previously, or a version of it. It wasn't. I don't think it was like to this extreme because he's wearing like 8 of them or whatever. I mean, but it's WrestleMania, so if you're wearing boas, you got to wear 8 of them.
This is a great the stage pieces for the entrance with the scaffolds and everything. Yeah. It's fucking great.
It is fucking great. And then they got the screen right behind it, and then there's all those other screens all the way around. Man, it's just so cool. And then obviously the WrestleMania is always the long fucking walk to the ring. It's always this 900-foot fucking ramp that gets you from the entryway down to the ring. And that's one of the things I really love about WrestleMania. And now that they've been doing it in legitimate stadiums, it's like a mile and a half long to get to the fucking ring. And I think that's some of the coolest shit ever. I love that. That's like a fucking favorite of mine.
For The Undertaker, that's twice the amount.
Oh, man.
Twice the amount to take... Twice the distance and twice the amount of time to get there because he walks so goddamn slow.
Oh yeah, it takes him fucking 35 minutes to get down to the ring if it's fucking long enough. Which is why they started doing that thing where they would put him like it looked like he was floating, and they would put the fog. But anyways, yeah, they're doing the guitar. Oh man, the shirt rip. The audience is already fucking in. Like they're already all in on Hogan. It sounds like. I mean, they're just cheering the shit out of him.
Got that nice hot dog texture we all love on his fucking skin color.
Yeah, dude.
Tan as fuck.
Tan. I mean, that is
he's already over, dude. This is so weird.
Yeah, I mean, they're just losing their shit. And then watch, we're probably going to hear...
Like, look, he's smiling?
Yeah, he loves it. We're probably going to hear... I think they boo when The Rock comes out.
What do you think is going on in his mind? He's like, oh, shit, dude, I'm back here once more. And it's like, it feels... So, and he's back at WrestleMania, dude.
Well, and he's also in Toronto in the Sky Dome, which was fucking one of his. There was the last WrestleMania that I think. Oh, I don't know which WrestleMania it was. I think it was 6 prior to this that had been also in Canada in the Sky Dome. And shit, that was the last time he was there.
This to me is like The Rock. And maybe it's just because of the cameras, but this to me is like his leanest form because back in the late 90s or.
Yeah, he was a little thick.
He was a little
chunky.
Yeah, he's a little, yeah.
But then he got on the right combination of the gas, and then now he leaned out for this run in the early 2000s. And
I think he looks the best. Like
I agree. Yeah. I think this is peak fucking physicality of what The Rock should look like. And when I watched because I hadn't fucking watched these in forever, probably 15 years. It was weird to see The Rock not in his current state as this giant fucking swole
fucking meathead.
Yeah, like the meathead Rock. And I don't honestly, I don't like The Rock now. Like I don't like that, man. I like this Rock better. I like The Rock better.
Yeah.
This fucking guy, early 2000s.
Fucking chap Rock with the chap pants, the
assless chaps with the fucking, and when he was a heel, when he was heel Rock. Yeah, that was fucking so singing songs in the middle of the ring.
Ironically, The Rock became Hollywood.
Yeah, that's
Rock.
true. Right after this, the next year he was fucking Hollywood Rock.
Yeah.
And so now here they are. This is where this
is so good, dude. Like the ambience is it's like it makes the moment feel epic.
It does, man, because the audience is losing their fucking mind right now. Oh, here we go. There's a D's nuts sign.
People haven't changed.
No, man. They have not. And then they're fucking just staring each other down.
Haven't even gotten the bell going. No. They're like staring at each other. This is great, dude.
This is. Oh, fuck. That's that same sign from the fucking promos that they did from the 80s with WrestleMania, man. That's cool as shit.
Do you think this is supposed to be an homage to WrestleMania with Andre the Giant? Like they're trying to add that allure, or not the allure, but the kind of that same atmosphere of them like staring. See, they did this at the beginning of the feud, like
right. Yes, they did this exact same thing.
But this is all like, to me, I don't know if it's like a nod to Andre. Well, they're kind of meeting on eye level, but
yeah,
they're trying to me. Oh, so good, dude. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And now they're talking shit.
Yeah.
And there's Mike Chioda, a fucking young, spry Mike Chioda from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Refereeing this match. Man, what must have that been like for him, man? This was fucking...
It's got to be a highlight of his career.
Yeah, man, to fucking be the guy that gets to call and ref fucking Hogan versus Rock. And so, yeah, I mean, they're starting off with your slow... I mean, and again, they're really... Well, Hogan's a power wrestler. Look at that. The audience losing their mind. Hogan just threw him from the call. Oh, now he's posing.
Yeah.
And the audience loves it. They're just eating it up. I mean, look at how happy. Look at how I don't think he expected this legitimately.
Yeah.
But these Canadians, they love them some fucking Hulk Hogan. Oh, now he's giving him the fucking just bring it rock. And then the audience is eating it up. And now they're going to go back to the collar and elbow tie up. All right, side headlock there. And okay, like right there. He just put him in a fucking headlock. Okay, a move that's never really ever been nobody submitted to a headlock. All right, a standing headlock. And Hogan yells at the referee, ask him if he gives up.
Yeah.
You know
they
that
just started the fucking match.
They just started the match. And you can see, man, this is peak fucking Hogan, man. The fucking posing.
He's going for he's going for each side of the ropes. He's calling for
doing the hand flip to the ear, and they're loving it up. And this is how this match was good and wasn't completely terrible, is because they're not really actually wrestling that much. It's all a shit ton of crowd work. Here we go.
It's
now
fanfare.
It's all the hype. This is the hype realized, and this is professional wrestling. This is sports fucking entertainment right here.
Flex his pectoral muscles.
Yeah. Oh man, that is just. And again, you can tell the way Hogan is just the way his posture is right now, and the way he's kind of just moving about. You can tell he's fucked up. Like, he is not doing great. His back's probably fucking killing him. It looks like both of his knees are about to explode. Fucking, just that little run that he just did right there looks like it fucking hurts. But he can't fucking feel anything, because all he is his body is electricity right now, because he feels this adrenaline crowd, dude. Man. And there he's gonna go. Goes for
it looks kind of stiff.
Yeah, it's very stiff.
Yeah, whatever that crossbody, he kind of sold it early.
Yeah, he did. He sold it a little too early, but yeah, that was. And now the fucking bandana has come off.
Giving him the respect.
Yep.
Now they're on equal footing psychologically.
Yep, there he goes. The Rock's giving him the bring it. And now, I mean, the crowd booed when the Rock fucking came ahead of that fucking. Oh, there goes Hogan shoving him. I need to get one of those just bring it foam hands, man. I gotta find one on eBay and fucking buy it, because I need that.
Okay, I think he was looking for a third slap or a third.
Yeah, because he was bracing for it, but then the Rock went back and spit in his hand, which
it didn't look terrible.
It didn't look terrible. I think they fucking they played it off, and obviously that just goes to the experience of fucking Hogan and the Rock. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, that's a move that I miss fucking seeing, is that fucking going back and spitting in the fucking hand and then fucking punching somebody. Oh, man. And see, again, we're doing a lot of very slow, methodical power wrestling maneuvers, because realistically, that's what Hogan can kind of do physically.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right here. I think he's in his 50s. And
no rock bottom.
Nope, denied. And now the crowd's just cheering their ass off. Man, that is the peak Hogan hot dog texture skin, man. It is just leathery.
Yeah. The running elbow.
Oh yeah, there was the running elbow. And he, what was cool about the way that they switched to these angles, man, is they caught it just as his, like, the tip of his elbow was passing the Rock's head. So it really did look like he fucking clocked him.
Dropped a couple elbows and rubbed his boot against his face.
Oh yeah, adding the insult to injury, man.
Oh man, that skullet is looking great.
Yeah, that skullet is pretty fucking great. I love the boots with his fucking face on the side. That's just so fucking heelish, man. I love it.
Clothesline.
I mean, and he's keeping up with the Rock. He's following him into the fucking turnbuckles. I mean, he can turn on the jets for a short burst. He's still. Yeah. What is that? Oh, you still got it.
I don't know what that
I don't know
was.
what the
That-
fuck.
that-
I think he was expecting The Rock to come at him and he was gonna go for the big boot, but then when The Rock didn't come, he just kind of didn't know what to do. So he just threw
He's like, I'll
his
just go for
back
the
down.
gut. The
Ooh,
weird spine buster.
that was a
or
weird-
not even a spine buster,
that was
but
like
a
a spear.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, at this point, I mean, Hogan probably weighs 300 and fucking what, 50
You
or
think?
some shit like that. But yeah, he's solid though.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
I don't-
Hogan's like 6'4", I think, or 6'5" even maybe.
mm,
And you know, he's solid muscle for the most part. There he goes. He was yelling at the referee, clapping fucking his hands, telling him to clap the fuck, count faster, you bitch. Mike Chioda, come on, what's wrong with you? It's this Hulk Hogan you're talking about here. Oh, here he goes. You can see the Rock's ass tan. Man, that seemed very unnecessary, grabbing his ass like that.
I don't know what that was about.
I never noticed that before.
Yeah, he's got him stretched out.
Oh yeah. Oh, and here we go. This is when you get to fucking crazy electrocution Hogan when it looks like he's getting electrocuted with his hair drying out.
Small package.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was an attempt at a small package.
Yeah. Hey, dude. He's in his twilight years at this point,
yeah.
so it's like you'll take what you can get.
And I mean, he's still in there wrestling in front of 75,000 fucking people, you know?
This is kind of like an odd choice. I don't know, because I mean, how often do you see somebody claw at somebody's back
Well,
as a move?
not really at all, ever. But again, when you're trying to keep the move set to power moves, and you basically just been throwing punches and clotheslines and boots this whole time.
Yeah, you
So
need to change it up a little variety. And it does come across as heelish, so
It does. Oh, now he's biting him. He's
Yeah.
biting his forehead. That's fucking awesome. Oh, there goes The Rock, fucking throwing him, turning the tables, giving him the back chops, talking shit.
man, wrestling is nothing but JoJo poses. Like there's like the wrestling aspect, but there's also the
Yeah, you have to do the fanfare
the super
part. Yeah.
exaggerated poses and everything, which Hogan does to a T.
Oh yeah, and the Rock does it too.
Yeah,
What the fuck was that? A
It
choke slam?
looked like a choke
A choke slam rock bottom? Oh, now he's just straight choking him. Man, The Rock is dead. He's choking him and he's like, I can't breathe. See, that sign right there, that just bring it sign, where it had the American flag on it, that was one of my favorite Rock shirts of all time.
How do you get away with this if he's using a foreign object?
Well, it's not. It was the tape on his thing. It just came off, and now, you know. And this is in kayfabe. The referee has the discretion to say, "Okay,
Knock
I'm
it
not
off.
going to disqualify you for that. I'm going to give you a warning." Hell, I've seen matches where dudes have just straight steel chair shot at somebody, and they said, "Okay, hey, don't do that again," and they let the match continue. Hogan's selling those fucking hands. Ha.
Over the top rope.
And the Canadians just fucking loving it. I mean, the crowd is now squarely behind Hogan. That, you know, it shifted from probably 50-50 to now it's probably like 95.
You think it's part of like the nostalgia that he's fresh
Oh,
from
yeah.
coming back, that people were just like, oh fuck yeah, Hogan's back. This is
Well,
great.
Yeah, and if you look at a lot of the people that are there, okay, in this arena, they were probably kids the last time Hogan was in this fucking arena. And
Not knowing if they would ever see him come back.
right, well, I mean, that it was a completely different time. And if you were a kid and didn't get to go to that WrestleMania, you really never did get to cheer Hulk Hogan on in person. So whether he's the good guy or the bad guy, you're gonna do what you never got to do, and you're gonna cheer him. You're gonna cheer for him. And that's what I think these Canadians are doing.
Man, Jerry Lawler in his getup, man, it's all
Oh,
flared out.
man.
It's all bedazzled.
Well, yeah, it's his WrestleMania King outfit, okay? And you know what I always love is
Look at the tassels,
yeah,
dude.
man, they're so good. He always wears his wrestling tights and his wrestling boots. Like, that's part of his outfit. Like, he's wearing that even though he knows he's probably not going to go in the ring, but you never know.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, that was a very weird clothesline by Hogan to The Rock. The Rock literally looks like he just died. I mean, his eyes are all bugging out of his head, and he's fucking looks like he's about to have a seizure. I mean, The Rock, you know, he sells. I mean, he can.
I like these exchanges, dude.
Yes, the way that it's like you can see the desperate. Oh, and then Mike Chioda got fucked up again for the 18th. You know, in kayfabe, Mike Chioda must have the most concussions of any fucking referee. Him and fucking Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
Like they always are getting knocked the fuck out. I mean, literally, he is unconscious right now in kayfabe. He has been hit so hard that he is out for a very fucking long time. You would never see a guy get knocked out in the UFC and be down this long.
Yeah, we just got a spine buster.
Spine buster, yeah, there you go.
Hogan ran into a spine buster. Now they're both laid out in the center of the ring.
The spine on the pine, as they call it.
So now, seemingly, anybody can do anything at this point because referee's knocked out. We can get dirty.
Oh, yeah, there's no rules right now because Mike Chioda's dead. Oh, that was a very
sloppy.
It's very sloppy, but here goes The Rock going for a sharpshooter.
No fucking ref to tap his ass out.
And Hogan, I'm sure, is going to be tapping imminently. Man, he's getting there. He's crawling to the fucking ropes. I mean, he is. Oh, there he goes. He got it. But there's no referee to break the hold, just like there's no referee to count if he submits. So, oh, yep. Now he's tapping out. The full tap out has begun. Look. Hogan looks like he's about to cry. He's selling this pretty good. Now The Rock's going to investigate, even though he was staring at the dead referee the entire time. Now he's going to investigate.
Yeah,
kicking him, dragging him. Man, just rattling his brain around.
At this point, why don't they just bring out another ref or bring out two? So if one ends up,
I mean, that's you should
getting the shit knocked out of him, you have one other spare one.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hogan right to the nuts, and the people loved it. Oh shit. Hogan with the Rock fucking bottom.
Shit, maybe the audience did a heel turn with the.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. I mean, how many years is this after the Montreal screw job?
Well, that was in 1997, and this is what
5 years after the fact.
Yeah, five years. Yeah.
They're like, fuck it, we're on the Hogan train now.
Yeah, we're all on the Hogan train.
We have gone heel. We have gone heel as well.
Full heel. Yeah, they are loving him beating the shit out of the Rock with this fucking weightlifting belt. And man, you can hear it too. You can hear the smacks. There you go. Speaking of weird things to do with the belt, you wrap it around your hand and then punch somebody with it. Missed.
DDT always looks good,
man,
dude.
It does. It is such a fucking good maneuver. I mean, hell, it was people's finishers for many fucking years. Rock, extra fucking sweaty. Oh, now he's picking up the belt.
Eye for an eye.
Oh, they are booing as fuck. Ooh, you can hear that. Man, they are booing. See, fucking. When Hogan does it, they cheer. Oh, the spits in the belt. Yeah. That's fucking epic. And then Hogan gets hit so hard that he has to stand straight up.
All right. Do you think at this point they did that because they need to catch their breath, so they start doing the dirty shit? So.
Oh yeah, so they can kind of. Well, Hogan's the one that needs the breather, I think.
I'm sure he does too. I'm sure Rock needs it as well.
Yeah, probably. Here we go. This is classic fucking Hulk Hogan right here.
Yeah.
He's hulking up.
Uh-huh.
Rock in disbelief. Oh shit.
Oh, this is so good.
This is the fucking Nope. Says, nuh-uh, buddy. What you gonna do, brother? Rock spits in the hand. Hogan blocks it.
The spit is it's +5 attack.
Oh yeah, it is every time.
That's why you got to do it.
Yeah, it's mandatory. It's a
fucking damage.
Yeah,
it's a damage
buff. Yeah. And here he goes for the leg drop. Oh man, that leg drop is just so good. God, you can see it in their faces, man. When he didn't get the 3 on that, they were just so sad. Man. I mean, I think that the crowd is the fucking hidden MVP of this fucking
for this match,
man.
yes.
I mean,
the exchange of hands, dude. This is like,
oh yeah, this is what the whole match has been. And then here he goes for another one.
leg drop.
Missed. And now his right glute has been destroyed because the impact shattered his right glute. Oh, here goes The Rock with his fucking rock bottom. Hogan's still yelling shit just randomly. Ooh. Mike Chioda fucking nursing his wounds. He's like, man, I hope this health insurance covers all this shit. Man, he's gonna give him a second one.
No counter.
Nope.
I felt like it was gonna happen because it's like Rock got one, got a counter.
Yeah.
I'm like Hogan surely would have got one on the second one.
You would have thought.
All right, now we're going for the
people's elbow.
I think he fucked up the spot here. He should have had Hogan on the opposite side to face the camera. So now they switched the cameras at ringside because he had Hogan facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
Well, at least I think so.
Right, yeah. And that's
all
how
she
wrote.
Ended?
Yeah, that was how it ended, fucking with 3 rock bottoms and a people's elbow.
That was a little bit of a flat ending.
It was.
So he did 2 rock bottoms and he got...
Well, that was the 3rd rock bottom of the match. So he did 2 in a row. That was 3 of the match. And if you use the video game analogy, that's just wearing down their health bar and wearing down their head to fucking 0 or red, so that you can hit them and they won't kick out.
Yeah.
Man,
Brock's first, or rather, Hogan's first match back, and he puts over The Rock.
Oh yeah, I mean, people say all this shit about Hogan and he didn't want to do business and all that stuff, but nah, man, he did. He did the shit. I
mean, what benefit would it be to him to win this match other than
none, really?
It basically bury. Well, actually, I don't even know you can bury The Rock at this point.
Yeah, I don't think he's able to be buried. God, you remember that? The camera flashes that you don't never see those.
Oh
anymore,
yeah.
Man. That's just not
a thing.
Yeah. Man,
can't tell if he's crying or he's just like in fucking breathing in pain.
I think he's in.
He's like, oh god, get me some fucking aspirin and Tylenol.
Yeah, give me some goddamn painkillers. Oh shit.
I mean, physically, Hulk Hogan looks extra muscular,
extra fucking swole. Look at him, he's all sad. He's got his kind of hand out. He's gonna put his hand out, but he's all sad and fucking.
Put it there, brother.
That was a hell of a match, brother. Let's be sportsmanlike, brother. Look, that dude's got a Polaroid fucking camera. Man, there goes fucking Hogan sticking his hand out. The Rock's getting confused. He's like, I don't know. Is he gonna spit in it? What's he want to do?
You nearly killed me with a semi truck, but yeah, sure. I'll shake hands with you
after fighting you. And
you're
you
a good
doing
sport.
And you doing a few cheating things, I've decided that you're
you're
all
square.
Right.
You're an up and up guy.
Yeah, you're an upstanding citizen. Hogan still clutching the ribs after that or that fucking people's elbow, man.
That's good. I mean, that
just showed you how strong the people's elbow is. It's that running back and forth, and like it's when you jump over them, you get that extra boost. And then, but you stop right before you get to him on the second go around, and then you got it. Doing that foot kick, it summons the power of the gods, and they put it all right into the tip of your elbow, and you just shatter fucking bones with the people's elbow.
Yeah, at least he's still selling the move. If this was modern WWE, they'd be like, "Oh, you're fine."
He'd be totally fine right now. Yeah,
I'm good.
That'd be funny if he just like pulls out fucking some weights. The Rock went to go pull out some weights.
I hope I look as good as fucking Hogan. Okay, here come the NWO. Yeah. Don't really know why they're fucking.
Oh yeah, see how fucking. Oh man, now they're jumping Hogan.
So is this simply for the fact that he lost the match that he's not? Yeah, he's not worthy of being part of the NWO.
I guess that's what they were going for. Where the fuck did The Rock go? Oh, here he is. Came back for the save. Yeah, man. The punches.
So
the
this
punches
is this
and the
before or
kicks.
after Hall gets his ass kicked by Stone Cold?
I think this is after.
How come they didn't fucking kick out Scott Hall for this? Look, he
Yeah.
lost his match. Fuck.
Yeah,
So now they have a little
yeah, 'cause
little
next-
kumbaya moment.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Hey, everybody, we're friends now.
We're friends and we're gonna fight the enemies that you were just literally a part of. Like,
Yeah. Forgetting the fact that Hulk Hogan cheated during the match with
with
his
the low
fucking-
blow.
his belts.
Yeah, oh yeah, the fucking choking him with the fucking the tape.
God, wrestling's so stupid.
It is, but man, it's so good though. I mean, god damn. Now they're just staring they're staring down the NWO. And now I think we're about to get to the pose phase. Yeah. There he goes, just continuing to put over The Rock. I mean, pointing at him, giving the thumbs up. I mean, you know, he
Yeah.
just
Get
The
your
Rock,
ass in
yeah,
the way.
he's
You can
like,
raise his
yeah.
fist.
yeah, get back in here.
You get that sweet ass skull of yours.
Yeah. The people need to see the skullet.
Get your ass in here, or I'll give you a DDT.
Well, they just cut the music. Oh shit! Here he goes. He's gonna do his fucking famous. I don't know what that's called.
I don't know.
There's got to be a name for it. Oh, yep. He's going to all four corners of the ring, putting his cupping his hand to his ear
Oh,
in typical Hogan fashion.
he's doing all the poses, all the Hogan poses.
Oh yeah, the repertoire Hogan poses that are available to him.
At this point, he's face.
Oh yeah, easily.
Dude, it's too much at this point.
is.
Yeah.
And then The Rock doing the imitations of the
Oh my
fucking
God, dude.
of the poses.
The only thing better is if Rikishi.
Oh my god, Too
like,
Cool came out. Oh my god.
And they all just
And
they
then
start doing their little dance and everything.
That'd be fucking sweet. They all put the sunglasses on. Yeah, because see, that's why he does that with the hand into the ear, and then whichever side cheers the loudest, they get all the poses. They get like all of them rapid fire.
I love
the reward.
I love that like he just starts. It's like NPC movement, like when you talk to a character and
Yeah.
they start repeating their movesets
Right,
or
yeah.
whatever. So he starts like hulking out and then does that.
And he's doing
Yeah,
doing the fucking
He's like, and then he goes back around to the first thing
yeah.
he did.
It's just a cycle.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And he's still selling. He's still selling. They're out of the fucking ring walking back together.
Yes.
And The Rock just asked him, "Hey, are you okay?" And look at him. He's still selling that fucking people's elbow that put him out of commission. He's holding his rib cage. And now they're highlighting them being good buddies, and they're fucking gonna ride off into the sunset.
The juice is not enough, brother.
It's not.
It's
Man.
good for the body, but my stamina. You got me right.
ass.
You got me right.
Yeah.
Right in the diaphragm, brother.
This rock music was good too. The Rock's theme song, man. This version was good with the drums at the beginning.
I never liked the heel version when he was the
When it was like super slow.
like the assless chaps rock.
When it would come in and
Hollywood
go, is cooking.
Yeah. No bueno.
No bueno at all. There was the good hand raise, and Hogan saying, Just like I said, Shohei Ohtani was number 1. He's saying The Rock is number fucking 1 in front of everybody. All right. So that now concludes the match. So, what are your thoughts on the match? Like the matchup itself. Had you ever seen the match before?
I've seen pieces of
but
it,
but never all the way in one go.
Never all the way through.
So this is cool. This is interesting.
Yeah. I think. So we doing numbers or we doing like stars?
I don't know.
Or
man.
no, or just not.
I think we should. I think we should. I don't even know if we could even rate it though, because it would be a modern rating though, I guess. So you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do a modern rating and go. Let's do 10. Let's do 10 out of 10 or whatever, or 5 out of 5. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I mean, if you don't want to just give it a number, we just talk about the positives and the negatives.
I don't want to necessarily give it stars because I think everybody fucking does that in
Star.
wrestling for some reason. They give it the fucking
-5
stars. Negative 100 stars.
I think the match is entertaining above all else.
Yes.
The movesets, not particularly.
Extremely limited is what I would probably describe it as.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is exchanges of the hands, clotheslines, holds. Kind of your, I don't know if you would call it like a standard match, but it's just simply the fact that you have these two personalities that are bigger than wrestling.
Yeah.
That are putting this particular moment over for what would probably be maybe a little above average match maybe a little bit above average match in terms of the technical aspect, but in terms of the hype, man, it's off the charts.
Oh yeah. The hype and the allure, the lore. That's what carried this match, and that's what made this match so fucking great. It wasn't the wrestling. The wrestling itself was probably mediocre at best, but it's the lore behind this encounter which makes even the most minimal and basic wrestling maneuver that they're pulling in the ring, it makes those 10 times more impactful.
Yeah. And there was a lot of, to knock the points, if there was points to knock off, is that there was a lot of missed spots.
A lot of
miscues.
Yeah.
Miscues. There was Rock going to the corner, and then I don't know why he threw up the boot, and it ended up in the midsection, but I don't know what he was expecting, because it was supposed to be, I don't know if The Rock was supposed to take a boot to the face, but that's not what ended up happening. Sweep, like when he swept the legs or picked up the legs, and he just kind of collapsed on his back, and it didn't look natural.
No.
But there was like a lot of those little moments where you could kind of knock, and then there was like the exchange of the hands where I think Hogan was expecting a third slap, and then it turns out he was going for the clothesline.
Yeah.
Immediately after the second one, and there was just kind of like a weird pause in between. But like I said, overall, it's just simply that these are probably the two, or rather, amongst the biggest stars in the company at this point, having a dream match.
Oh yeah.
I overall, I think it delivered.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, instead of doing stars or numbers, why don't we simply ask this question?
Am I sports entertained?
Yes. Were you sports entertained?
I was sports entertained.
I was highly fucking sports entertained.
Yeah. Okay. So bonus points is much like Godzilla -1, which you should all see if you haven't already.
Definitely.
I think it's probably gonna get a re-release in black and white. But
sweet. Hopefully with NWO music.
Yeah. So one thing that was great in the Godzilla -1 movie is selling the moment of the heat ray that Godzilla has, right? There was no music. There's nothing like that. And I think in some instances when they're staring each other down, the ambience, like the palpable hype from the crowd really adds to the moment. And I didn't get to make a mental note if Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross are making commentary, but at least they make the moment breathable, and it's not something that they have to dub over and just let it be.
Right.
So again, just those type of moments, the ambience is where the match gets bonus points.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. I think that as I said, the lore was the draw here. This was an iconic match. It wasn't an iconic match because of the wrestling. It wasn't an iconic match because of, any other reason other than the two participants themselves, which really, when you have that equation, you really don't need to worry about whether or not the match or the wrestling is going to be good, because every move was heightened. Every punch was, the weight of it was more than any other match on this fucking WrestleMania card. The weight of each punch, even though it's the same punch, was still fucking hit harder and fucking faster because of the two behemoths and the two juggernauts that are in the ring throwing them. And that's The Rock and Hogan.
And you got to see Hulk Hogan Hulk out.
Yeah, that was
for old time's sake.
Yeah. There was a big nostalgia factor there, and I think that's a lot, again, what they were kind of going for. And I don't know what their plans for Hogan were at this point, but now they're like, oh, we got to do something with this dude for sure. And then that's what they ended up doing. Like the next month, they ended up putting the belt on him. He got the undisputed title. So, fucking pretty great. I was fucking highly sports
entertained. I don't really know what our next feud is going to be, but
yeah, I'm not sure either.
We should start looking into promos that we're going to look into for the future.
Yeah.
So that, I didn't know this was going to carry into well over an hour. So maybe the promo thing, I don't know how that's going to work.
Maybe that can just be, okay, instead of maybe just being a segment attached, attached to the end of this, maybe we can just make its own episode.
It might have to be.
We'll just do, and maybe they don't need to be an hour fucking long episode. Maybe they're just 30 minutes, the promo ones. We'll just call them the promo specials, where we're just going to take and analyze promos as they're done. We'll watch them live on the thing so people can watch them with us, and then we can pause it at our leisure and talk about each line, the way it was delivered. There's so much analytics we can do on this. So yeah, I think that's probably how we should do it then. The promo episodes will be kind of their own standalone little things, and they'll just talk about promos. And those will be
in addition to the feuds or matches.
Right. Those will be supplementary to the feuds and the matches. And then even if we, don't have any wrestling news like this week, really, we had something to talk about, but even if we have a week where there's nothing, that jack shit happens, yeah, we could just do, talk about a match or a fucking promo.
Yeah. Hopefully you all were sports entertained. If I butchered the the timeline for the feud towards the end, I just, it's hard to not turn that into a chore list.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have just pitched it off to you to to give it a little more color.
Yeah.
But overall, this was a pretty cool idea for an episode to just go over the entire story arc for a feud. And this was a cool way to start it off. Hopefully we can find more shit. Do you have any ideas?
Technically, this was a great way to start off 2024, because this is the first episode of 2024.
Okay.
Because this is the first episode of anything that we're doing in 2024. So what a hell of a way to start off with an experimental fucking episode and for it to turn out so fucking well.
Yeah. Do you have any feuds that you're thinking about in particular?
Yes. I said it earlier. I would like to do Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys, the two TLC 1 and TLC 2. And maybe I don't know if TLC 1 and I think those each might need to have their own fucking episode, because I don't think you could do them both.
I don't think you can.
I think it'd be like a 4-hour fucking episode.
Yeah, I think we could all just geek out over fucking swanton bombs. Man,
it's swanton bombs and spears off the ladders and fucking 3Ds into tables. Oh my God, it's fucking great.
Oh my God, tables, ladders, chairs. Oh my.
Oh, fuck,
yes.
Man. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, dude, so great. So, anyways, yeah, so stay tuned in the future. Big things continuing for the Game Rage Wrasslin podcast.
Oh man, I'm clutching my fist.
I'm hulking up right now, just doing it, man.
Yeah.
I'm
ready, man. I'm amped.
Oh, so am I. This is gonna be so great. So, anyways, if you've listened to us ramble this here at the end thus far, hey, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening. You guys know what the fuck to do. You fucking go. You check out all the bullshit. If you don't, whatever. Also, for those of you not wrestling related, but if you're a fan of Game Rage Magazine's highest selling artist, musical act, you can stay tuned for the new Millennial Frog album, Based in Space Pill, will be dropping in just a few short weeks here in January. So if you'd be so kind as to go and stream it on your streaming app of choice,
The Frogaholics,
the MFers, if you will.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right. Well, thanks for listening, and we will definitely catch you on the next one,
brother.
That was another wonderful, amazing, powerful episode of the Game Rage Wrasslin podcast. And take it from me, ladies and gentlemen, the natural lad, Jet Swag. If there's one podcast, one show you should be listening to, that you should be absolutely grateful for, it's the Game Rage Wrasslin podcast. And one of the things you can do to show your appreciation for all the hard work and dedication that these boys put out day in, day out, just for you people, it's that you can go and you can subscribe and you can like and follow them on the Instagram and the TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. You can also follow them and like them and subscribe to them on the old Twitter, which I don't know what it's called now, but who cares? It's at Game Rage Mag there. Additionally, if you feel the need to really show your appreciation, which you should, then go to their website at www.GameRageMagazine.com and show us some love. Show them some love. And show some love for the natural lad, Jet Swag.